May the 4th be with you. This is an old type of a PC, some type. I don't know what it is. It came out of a business that long shut down, so I know nothing about it. Let's see if this thing will even turn on. So this is an old device that came out of a business. It appears to be like a point-of-sale type system. Has a VGA port, COM1, COM2. It both an RS-232 or RS-422, 485. It's got two separate ports here. Two LAN inputs, a printer input, keyboard and mouse using the old PS2 type, and a couple of USB ports, a header of some type for some type of interface, maybe to open cache drawers and stuff. But definitely this would have been a point-of-sale system. I don't know if it works. I know nothing about it, so I'm going to plug it in and we'll see what it does. It beeps. We'll open this unit up too and see what's in it. It probably is dead, and that's why it was taken out of service. I've got it hooked up to a monitor, and there's nothing. There's no post or anything, no self-test info, no display. It just beeps. So this is something that it's not going to get repaired. I just wanted to show you guys this before I send it to recycling. But there's what's in it. Gee, look at the hard drive interface. Old IDE Drive. See if the battery's even got a charge on it. So it's flat. That might be why it's not starting. Try a new CMOS battery. I think I probably have one kicking around here somewhere. What is this thing? It's a 2032. Let me see if I've got one of those kicking around. Cat's coming to visit me. Okay, new CMOS battery. Let's see whether this thing will do anything. Apparently not. The hard drive's unplugged now, by the way. Just want to see if it'll actually post power up. I'm not getting any video, so I'm sure this board is probably just totally dead. The RAM is siliconed in. Check this out. Cat's in having a visit. Here, you want to go up on camera? There. Get up on the bench. Yeah. This is the loud one. The mic and inputs on the back that they've actually removed from the back cabinet, or never even put them on the panel. Pretty old, this unit. Just pop out this RAM. I can't believe that somebody actually put glue on here. They glued the RAM in place. Believe it or not, businesses used to do that because employees would steal RAM. I know it sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But there was a time when RAM cost so much money that, like, one of these sticks was like $150. Believe it or not. Go back in the house. Go, get out of here. It seems, people would find hard to believe But I remember at times when I was buying RAMs, this is just 32 times 64, 256 megabytes is what this is. But you know, it was back in the day. This was bloody expensive. So what companies would do is they would lock the computers down because their employees would steal RAM out of computers. Now, so obviously stealing RAM out of this computer, the computer's not even going to boot because it only has one memory stick. But I'm talking bigger computers, right? Employees would actually steal the RAM. They'd find that, you know, their computer had they had, you know, a computer with 8 gigs of memory in it, right? And all the computer for their work would run just fine with 4. Right, might run a little slower. So they would actually pilfer half the memory from their desktop computer and continue to work. And that was a problem back in the 80s when memory was very, very expensive. So I just reseated this RAM just to see whether this thing's going to do anything more than it did, which it isn't. It's not booting. It's not giving me any type of video graphics display whatsoever. Video card itself could be toast, which I think is this over here. Onboard video. Graphics processor, I believe, is that one right there. Not beeping now. Okay, not displaying anything. Like there's no post info, no data on the TV. That cap there looks like the top is popped on it. I wonder if that's what's wrong and why this thing's not booting. That one definitely looks to be bad. I wonder if I'll pull the board just for the hell of it and try changing that cap out and see if I get whether this thing will actually boot up. I don't have any use for it, but it just, see if I can get it to boot before I throw it in the garbage. Because this would be a single-use computer, although it might be running Windows. Yeah, it might be running Windows 7 or Windows XP or something. This is probably XP's era, I'm thinking. It's pretty old. And this probably cost a small fortune back in the day because it's would have been set up for custom use, like for opening cash drawers and stuff and that sort of stuff. Some of these headers aren't even plugged in. Where they go? You see, well, they go down to some of these other connections at the back here. Thinking back, this is probably even older than that. This is probably Windows 95 or 98 that's on this. If that, it might even run under DOS for that matter. What processor do we have on this unit? I wonder if I can just pop the processor out and see what we've got on here. That's the fan. That's been glued in too. See, someone's gotten kind of carried away with the silicone. They glued the... as if silicone's going to stop someone from stealing something, I tell you. What a processor has this one got on it? Pentium 3. It's an old Pentium 3. Nice heat transfer grease is nicely dried up, but that's an old Pentium 3. That gives you an idea what era this was from. So, no, I'm not going to put more grease on here, by the way, because this unit is never going to go back into service. It's just, it'd be cool if I could get it to boot up, but it's basically going for recycling, so I'm not going to be doing anything on this thing to, spend any money or spend any time on it. It was just, I'm cleaning out the workshop here, and this is one thing that's been sitting around here for a while that I figured I'd get rid of. So before getting rid of it, I figured I'd just show it off to you guys and let you guys see this old beast. And then we'll dump it. Send it back to the big recycling center. Yeah, hook that in. clipped it in like that. But see, somebody went and put silicone on that and put silicone on. Like as if silicone's going to stop someone from stealing the memory or taking the processor out. It's back to the old beep, 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 by the way. Yeah, I don't know why it didn't do it last time I plugged it in, but... Of course, now it's not there. Oh! Oh! Holy crap! It just booted up. Intel Pentium 3. See, is a primary hard drive. 8 meg shared memory. It says, so it's got 253 megabytes, okay, and then 8 megs of shared memory. So 1.8 gigahertz Pentium 3. 2001 looks like the bias date on this one. So that gives you an idea how old this computer is. And I guess it's going to want me to plug the keyboard into this thing and see whether I can actually get it to boot. I plugged in a conventional USB keyboard and it works. So let's just we'll just leaving it at the default. I just want to see whether this thing will actually boot up. Oops, floppy disk fails. F1 to continue. Been a long time since I've seen Windows 2000. I'm curious to see what auto boots on this. Is it just going to be Windows, or is it going to go into some fancy point of sale software, which hopefully is password protected? But knowing how many businesses operate, the place that I worked at, the computer or the TV shop that I worked at, there was no passwords on anything. Anybody could just walk in and turn on the computer, and the password for his voicemail was 1234. They never ever changed it. At work now, we got to change our passwords like every 60 days. We get the nag screen to change passwords, and if you don't do it, you get locked out. Then you got to phone the IT guys and get the IT guys to unlock your computer for you. It's applying security policy. It'll be interesting to see whether this computer is open, or whether it's locked down for something. But it's booting up. Oh, look at that. It's just booting up into the standard screen. I'm gonna grab a mouse and plug this into a LAN and see whether I can surf. Okay, just found my mouse. Do we want to snoop in this thing? Of course we do. What's in my documents? If there's any. Oh, look, my ebooks and my pictures. Get the sample picture from Windows. Cute. What else is in this thing? What else is in this computer? My ebooks. Doesn't have any ebooks. Very disappointed. I thought I might be able to get some dirt here. Oh, recycle bin. What's in the recycle bin? LAN, Realtek LAN interface shortcut. Deleted in 2004. What else is on here? What's trace? That might be his. The folder was moved. Wow. Yeah, it used to be a second hard drive, I guess, in here. So pointing to the D drive. Let's just see what else is on here. My briefcase. What's in my briefcase? Nothing. My computer. Oh, okay. It has a C and a D. DOS is in C. System is in D. So they partitioned the hard drive into 3 partitions. And oh, there is some stuff in here. I wonder what's been left behind. Was this a security system? Motion sensors, PCL reader. This might have been part of a security system and not, maybe this wasn't. Maybe this wasn't what I thought. I thought this was for sure a point of sale software, but maybe not. Maybe this was something else. Simulator, WinMP tools. Who knows? Host. See, it's not a very big hard drive. It's just 20 gig program files. Outlook Express, Windows Update. Common files. Bin. Temp. WinNT. I don't think I can go online with this because it's only got Windows or Internet Explorer, and well, Internet Explorer is long gone. I don't think I'm going to be able to get anything on here. Maybe I can. Let's see if I can get Google. Internet Explorer could not open the search page. Well, Internet Explorer has been phased out, so I wouldn't expect that it's going to do much. I don't even know if I've got a connection over the LAN for that matter. I've got my wireless LAN plugged in and it's showing that it's paired. I don't see a link light or anything, so it may be that the LAN doesn't even work on this. Oh, it's poking around in some of the network settings and it told me to restart, and now it's asking me to log in with a username and password. I wonder if I just leave it blank whether it will let me log in. Well, I don't have a username. It was letting me log in before, but now it's not letting me log in. So this might be going in the bin faster than I can put the top on it. At least it booted up, but if I can't log into it, not much use to me. Not much use to me anyway. It's only a Pentium 3. Yeah, more than likely what happened is when I rebooted it, I had it plugged into the LAN and it went out and pulled an IP, and now it's trying to log into some server that no longer exists. I don't know what the password would be. We did have it running before, but now I can't get into the unit in any way, so I guess about the only thing I can do is just toss this thing in the garbage, which was what was going to happen anyway. It was going to get tossed in the garbage. So this piece of junk is going to recycling. There's really nothing on here that's of any use, at least not to me. Yeah, it's got a small hard drive, but it's only a 20 gig hard drive, and it's an IDE drive. Maybe I keep the fan. I might keep the fans because they're always kind of useful to have small fans, but other than that, I think the rest of this stuff is ready to just be sent off. Memory, maybe keep the memory module. Not that I really have any use for it, it's so small, but for old computer. But other than strip the fans out of this thing, the rest of it's junk. I'll pull my battery back out. That's a good battery that's in there. I'll hang on to that. But everything else, I think power supply might be. See, I don't know if it's a regular power supply on this thing or not. It's got the regular headers on it, but that's about it. Let's see what it's got here. That's power, I guess. Let's go into the power switch at the front. Power switch would be good to hang on to. I'll unplug that. That'll come out. I'll keep the power switch and keep a few things off this, and then the rest of it will just go to the recycle center. I'll go up there. I'm going to be heading up there today anyway to take some other stuff, so we'll get this out of the way while I'm at it. The power switches are always good to have in case one breaks. We can get it out of here without damaging it. Okay, there's a power switch. That's always good to have a spare power switch for something. And I'll pull this power supply out just because it's easy. Always good to have a power supply handy, and this is a small one, like some of the big ones from other computers. So we'll just unplug the hard drive. And this connector is going down over here to the back of the board. Alright, so there's my power supply. It's not bad as a power supply. Worth keeping that for sure. I'll also get the fan off of the, I'll just pull the whole heat sink off here. Just take that whole unit. There we go. I got a fan and a heat sink. The processor itself is, well, not really much use, but there's the processor. It pops right out just on the ZIF socket. Pentium 3. Anybody wants a Pentium 3 chip? I got one. I'll hang on to that chip. And I guess that's about it. The rest of this stuff can just disappear. That's the IDE connector that goes under the board over here for the hard drive. Just pulled these little LAN cables out. They're just little short jumpers. It's always kind of nice to have some short jumpers if you need them for something. And these are just standard Keystone plugs that would go into a wall plate. Like a connector to connect two of them together. I'll hang on to those as well because those can always come in handy for something. I'll plug the cables into the end of them just so I don't lose them. And I think everything else on this is pretty much proprietary for this board. Nothing fancy, it was just a little mini PC board at the time. So, saying that, the rest of this is just going to go off to the recycle bin. It's nothing, just a run-of-the-mill old PC. It's nothing fancy. It's not like I'm getting rid of the very first Apple computer that was ever built. Although I do have something that feels like that. I have a Texas Instruments TN994A that I just have to make a power supply for, and I'll try booting that up at some time.